We had just a wonderful family life. I mean, it was one of those where you almost pinch yourself and say, this is too good to be true. We had 3 sons. Joe was our youngest. Judy and I said to Joe every day that we loved him. And he would always say back to us, I love you more. 2004 was obviously a tough year for us. I was at work in early January and I got a call from a neighbor. And she was kind of hysterical and said that Judy and our youngest son Joe had just been in an accident. We got to the accident scene and Judy was in an ambulance, but she was okay. I talked to her first. But our youngest son Joe, who was 12 years old at the time, was trapped in the car and they were trying to get him out. And it was just very, very clearly a bad situation. Probably about 12 hours later, they pronounced him dead at the hospital. He never regained consciousness. And we found out that a young lady had run a red light while she was distracted on a cell phone.
My mother was my hero. She was a great grandmother and an excellent mother, a role model we all should have in our lives. On September 3rd of 2008, my mother was leaving her neighborhood. At that time, a 20-year-old who had been dropping some clothes off at the Goodwill store was driving down the road less than a quarter of a mile from where he got in his car. He ran a red light, T-boned her car at 45 to 50 miles an hour, which was the posted speed limit. When he got out of the car, the first thing he admitted was he was talking on a cell phone. My mother died within a couple hours from blunt force trauma to the head, neck, and chest. I just call it death by cell phone.
We know that if you're on a cell phone and driving, hands-free or handheld, it doesn't matter. You're 4 times more likely to get in a personal injury accident than if you're not on a cell phone. We know that the leading cause of accidents is driver distraction, and we know that the #1 distraction is mobile device use in a car.
The National Safety Council has put forth such big efforts. They have the resources and the reputation that people need to know that they've done the research and they know this is not safe.
We've learned that there's 3 ways to address traffic safety issues, and one is education. Another way is legislation and enforcement, and there's a lot of activity in the country on that right now, and anything we can do to support that, we're anxious to do it. And then the last thing is technology.
The first thing I ask people who oppose the laws regarding cell phone use in driving is, how would you feel if that was your mother, your wife, or your child in that car seat that my mother was in when she was killed?
To have 12 wonderful years with Joe in such a close relationship is just something we're always going to cherish, and as a result I think we're always going to miss. But hopefully the day will come, and I hope it's in my lifetime, where we can look back and say, you know, we all worked together and we all made a difference. And I can close my eyes and envision, maybe it's 5 years from now, maybe it's 10 years from now, I hope it's not any longer than that, where we'll say, hey, do you remember when we all used to talk on cell phones while we drove? What idiots we were back then to do that. I hope that day comes in our lifetime.